She screamed, "That's my son's inheritance," while standing in my driveway. But the thing is, her son had never even set foot on this land. I was wiping sweat off my face, covered in sawdust, halfway through restoring the old 150-year-old cabin mansion I'd bought a few months back. The place was a wreck when I found it. Broken porch, vines crawling up the stone walls, windows boarded shut. But I saw something in it. History. My granddad used to tell me, if a house has stories in its bones, it deserves a second life. So I worked every weekend after my job, fixing it board by board alone. Until the day Karen showed up. Blonde bob, oversized sunglasses, HOA badge hanging from her neck like she owned the mountain. She stood at the fence, shouting, "You can't touch that property! This cabin belongs to the Myers family. My son is the rightful heir." I froze, holding the hammer midair. "Ma'am, I bought this place legally from the county auction. Got every paper signed." She laughed like I told a joke. "No, you don't understand. This was part of the old lakeside estates. HOA land. You can't just move in and start building like some squatter." I took a deep breath. I didn't move in. I restored it. And it's not part of any HOA anymore. It was dissolved 50 years ago. Her smile vanished. "We'll see about that," she hissed, snapping photos of the house with her phone. "You're stealing history. That cabin's supposed to go to my son when we finish restoring the neighborhood museum." The next morning, I woke up to hammering sounds that weren't mine. When I looked outside, my jaw clenched. Karen's son, a guy in his late 20s wearing a shiny vest and sunglasses, was nailing a giant "property under investigation" board right on my gate. I walked down the gravel path. "Hey, what are you doing on my property?" He smirked. "Mom said this land's disputed. HOA is taking control till it's sorted." I laughed bitterly. "Disputed? By who? Ghosts? There's no HOA left here." That's when Karen's SUV rolled up again. She stepped out holding a folder like it was evidence from a courtroom. "We found the original survey papers. This whole area was meant to be preserved. My great-grandfather was the trustee, and my son is next in line." She shoved the papers into my hands. They were yellowed, half-torn, and dated 1880. "You're trespassing on a historical site," she declared proudly. I looked at the signature at the bottom and couldn't help but grin. "Ma'am, this says Miller County. That's 2 counties over. Wrong property." Her eyes darted for a second, then she snatched the papers back, pretending she hadn't seen it. "Doesn't matter. You're not allowed to do any structural work until the committee reviews it." "Committee?" I tilted my head. "You mean you and your son?" Her son puffed his chest. "We have rights here. You can't stop us." "Watch me." I walked back toward my cabin, pretending to ignore them, but my phone was already recording. The whole thing, her threats, fake documents, and illegal posting, was on video. Later that afternoon, when I went into town to grab supplies, the hardware store guy looked uneasy. "You're the one fixing up that old cabin, right?" "Yeah, why?" He leaned closer. "Karen came in earlier, said the county's taking your property back. People around here think she's nuts, but she's got friends in zoning. Be careful." When I got home, the gate was wide open. My heart dropped. Inside the cabin, my workbench was flipped, and the old steel lockbox I found buried under the floorboards yesterday was gone. Someone had broken in, and somehow I already knew who had it. I stood there in silence, staring at the empty spot where the old steel lockbox had been. It wasn't just junk. I had found it buried beneath the cabin's stone foundation, wrapped in tar cloth. It had weight. Old papers, maybe deeds, maybe gold coins. But now it was gone. and they were fresh tire tracks in the mud, leading right back to where Karen had parked her SUV that morning. I grabbed my phone and replayed the recording from earlier. Karen's voice came through clear. "You're trespassing on a historical site." Perfect. That was my proof she'd been here before the break-in. I drove straight to her place, a massive house at the top of Lakeside Hill, with trimmed hedges and that fake Patriot flag waving in the breeze. Her SUV was in the driveway. I parked on the street and knocked firmly. Karen opened the door halfway, trying to look innocent. "You again? What do you want now?" "My property back," I said calmly, "and the backs you stole from my cabin." Her smile didn't even twitch. "I don't know what you're talking about." Behind her, I caught a glimpse, her son at the dining table turning something over in his hands. The steel lockbox. I stepped forward, but she blocked me. "Get off my porch before I call security." I sighed. "Go ahead. I'll wait for the real cops." She slammed the door. I waited a minute, pretending to leave, then pulled out my phone. I had a friend in the sheriff's department, Tom, a guy I served with years ago. I sent him a recording and told him about the stolen box. He didn't hesitate. "Stay put," he texted back. "Don't confront her again. I'll come by." That night, Tom's cruiser pulled up my dirt driveway. He stepped out, flashlight in hand. "You weren't kidding," he said, looking around the vandalized porch. "You've got clear signs of forced entry." He took a few photos, then added quietly, "You know, Karen's family used to own this land generations ago. Rumor is her great-granddad buried Confederate gold somewhere near this cabin. She's been obsessed with it for years." My heart skipped. "Gold? You think that's what she's after?" Tom nodded. "Wouldn't be the first time she tried claiming old property. She once got caught digging on the other side of the ridge." I rubbed my face, thinking, that box might have maps or proof of ownership. "Or worse," Tom muttered. "If it does, she's going to use it to try and take your land legally." Just then, his radio crackled. "Sheriff Unit, we got a report of trespassing on Miller Road. Caller says an armed man is threatening an HOA resident." Tom's eyes met mine. Miller Road. That was my address. Karen had called the cops on me. Again. But this time, she didn't know the deputy on duty was my friend. Within minutes, flashing red and blue lights filled my driveway. 2 county deputies stepped out, hands on their holsters, scanning the place. Karen stood behind them, wrapped in a scarf, pretending to cry. "There!" she yelled. "That's him! He threatened me with a weapon. He's squatting on stolen land." I stepped forward slowly, hands raised. "Officers, I'm unarmed. You can check me." Tom came out from behind his cruiser, badge glinting in the light. "It's okay, fellas. I've got this one." Karen's expression froze. "What? Tom? You know him?" "Yeah, Karen. Served 3 years with him overseas, and now I'm the responding officer." She swallowed hard. "Then you better arrest him. He's got something that belongs to my family." Tom crossed his arms. "You mean the box you stole from his property?" Her son, standing by her SUV, started shifting nervously. "We didn't steal anything. It was part of our historical claim." Tom nodded toward the SUV. "Mind if I take a look in there?" Karen tried to protest, but Tom was already moving. He opened the back hatch, and there it was. The steel lockbox, sitting open, old papers scattered inside. He picked up one of the yellowed pages carefully, shining his flashlight across the ink. "Well, looks like this is a deed transfer from 1873, signed by the original owners, giving full rights to the county, meaning your family sold this land a long, long time ago." Karen's face went pale.